Cycle number 5. Welcome to a back alleyway here in Ciudad Juarez. You better believe it. We've made it to the Big Apple. After 4 wonderful cycles in Ascension, 6 whole months, I have been sent to the Badlands, the city of sin, of drugs and the devil is what they call it. I'm here in Ciudad Juarez. I'm in a new area. Se llama Mariano Escobedo. But it has been a good 5 weeks since I've made my last message, and that's on me. I was planning on running another one of these last couple weeks in my time in Ascension, but I couldn't get to it because I was just so busy on P-Day. You know how it be. No, it's on me. It's on me. But there is lots of stuff to talk about because my last couple weeks in Ascension were just awesome. So great. So much showed that I had ganas, I had desires to stay in Ascension a 5th cycle, and I even wrote that to my president, kind of kicking and screaming. I'm like, am I really gonna stay here another one? But it wasn't in my hands, and I got sent out. But let's get into it. Let's talk about what happened these last 5 weeks, because it was really tough there for a while. We had 2 weeks in a row when we had 1 person at church and we had 0. And I'm like, I've been here so long. I've touched all of these doors. What else am I doing here? I don't know how to help. I'm trying to develop the member relationships. I'm trying to put on these activities, but I feel like I just haven't made a difference. And I think that's kind of how the mission works. And more than just the mission, that's just kind of how life works. It's these moments that are the hardest, that we have to choose to focus ourselves into these moments, and that's when we are going to receive the blessings. And nothing is more true than that than our story of Marco and his 2 sons. It was I think February 17th, because we had Zone Conference the next day. And Zone Conference was on a Wednesday, and we were leaving Tuesday afternoon to go to Casas Grandes, because Ascension is a tiny little pueblito, a tiny little town in the middle of nowhere. So we have to go to the big city to hit Zone Conference. And Tuesday mornings are always the worst. They're just so hard to work. And this was no different. And we already knew that we were leaving that afternoon, so it's just we have citas planned or friends progressing in that moment, so we're just going to find. And this Tuesday was one of the hardest to work of all because there was just a giant sandstorm. It happens a lot here, especially in Juarez. I've seen crazy pictures with just sand clouds. It wasn't that bad. We were still healthy enough to stay outside, but it was just so windy, and all the streets in Ascension are made of dirt. So we were just getting pelted. And my kid, Elder Lopez, bless his heart, he didn't have any ganas to keep working, and I was just trying to keep us going and stay focused for just a little bit longer, that we can put in our work before we have a little spiritual revival in Zone Conference. And we're just touching all the doors, and we're just, what are we doing out here? And nobody's answering. And the people that do answer, just, what are you doing out here? We're sharing messages. Can we come inside? Like, no way. So it's been tough for a couple hours. And Elder Lopez finally convinces me, and let's go back to house. This isn't productive out here. We can make phone calls, see if we can get some stuff set up for the rest of the week. So that's what we do. We head back. And we're pretty close to Casa, just 2 streets away. And I'm trying to keep doing everything that I can do. So I touched this final house, just 2 blocks away. It's right next to a gas station there. And I've never seen it before. I've never touched this door, which is interesting because it lives right next to our house. It's something I've noticed that lots of the missionaries do is, you kind of think about work and house in 2 different places. So you kind of forget to talk to the people that are right there, your neighbors. And it was such a great miracle. We knocked that door and opened Marco, and he talked a little bit about us. It was a pretty normal first contact, just 3 or 4 minutes. I talked about his life, and I'm always trying to find that need. He let me know that he's divorced, he's got 2 kids. And he said he'd be interested. So we talked about why sometimes we have these challenges in our life, these dificultades, these difficulties. And I left him a plan of salvation. All right? And that was it. It was a normal contact. I thought he might have potential, so I turned him green in our carpeta, in our app. So I counted as a new person. That was it. We had Zone Conference, and then we had our first cita with him on Friday. We taught the restoration. We left him a Book of Mormon. We invited him to read. Invited him to church too. And I didn't realize he was really different until that Sunday. And Sunday morning at like 7:30, without any other prior contact, any other invitations, he let me ask me like, "How? I'm so sorry, we're not gonna be able to make it today." And I'm like, "Hey, better than nothing, right? Most people just lie to me and tell me they'll come and don't show up." So I'm like, "That's cool, Marco, no worries." But the next time we went with him, we asked him about his experience with the chapter we left, and he said he read it with his kids. And he was pulling out verses in specific and had deep ideas. And this guy's different. We invited him to continue reading it and ask him. We usually teach prayer after that to see if they can receive this confirmation. He told us that I know 100% that this book is true and it's the Word of God, and that I need to listen to you guys. Just blowing my mind. I've been walking around in circles in Ascension for 6 months, and now I find this guy. Anyways, excuse the trust. It's a Juarez thing, but carrying on. That week we taught the gospel. And we put baptismal date for Marco. He's a really sweet guy, and he works as a gas station attendant in that gas station that's right next to his house. But he works every day. 1 week in the mornings, the other week in the afternoons. So he can only come to church every 2 weeks. But that first Sunday, he was working in the mornings. And that first Sunday was March 1st. So it was a fast Sunday. And actually there was some crazy gang violence, cartel, mob boss killings here in Mexico. So there's a statement from the area presidency that this fast Sunday would be fasting for safety and security here in Mexico. So that Sunday, we knew he wouldn't be able to attend, but we taught him to sanctify the Sabbath day and to keep it holy. And he was like, "How else can I do it?" And we invited him to fast with us. And the man fasted for 24 hours. And we went Sunday afternoon after work. And we made food with him. And we broke our fast together. And we kept teaching him. And he received the baptismal date. By the next week, we gave him a chapel tour. And he passed the tithing slips and asked us, "Oh, you guys pay tithing?" And we taught him, like, yeah, it doesn't go to any of us or the leaders. It's just to support this message, support the purpose of sharing this gospel and to build more chapels and temples. He was blowing my mind, man, because he asked, "When should I start paying that?" I'm like, "Well, you don't have to until after your baptism, but thank you for being willing and so receptive." He also loves the word of wisdom and just believes that we need to keep our bodies healthy, and understands the normas and has a testimony of persevering hasta el fin, until the end. So it's been so fun to work with Marco. His two kids are Marco Jr. and Luis, and they're just awesome. Marco Jr. is a little bit quieter, but likes listening to us, likes computers, and likes video games. So we've talked about that. Luis loves Minecraft and Legos, so we've done some Legos with him. They also have a Switch together, and they play as a family. They play Mario Kart. So it's just a beautiful family. It's just been a beautiful experience to help them out. What it does mean is we got permission from President to baptize them after their second assistencia. Usually they have to have 3. But with the situation and some of the conferences that are going on here, he'll be baptized this Wednesday. It's pretty sad because I am stuck here in Juarez. But to each their own. That's not my purpose here. It's just to invite people to come under Christ. And I know that I helped Marco in these first steps, and I'm so excited to see how he progresses in the church and how it can be a light for him in his life, especially during some hard times, through a divorce, trying to be a single father. But I've really grown to love Marco, and my last weeks in Ascension were just the best. I grew to love my comp, Elder Lopez. We had just awesome weeks. I felt like in a rut with my studies and with my mornings. So I refocused myself in my exercising. I got Elder Lopez, bless his heart, to bike with me every day as I ran alongside him. Listened to way too much youth album music because it's so bad. But check out Dust, that one's crazy good. But we had a great time in Ascension. Flash forward to today, we're here in Mariano Escobedo. I'm in the western part of Juarez, even though La Estaca del Sur, the south. And it's kind of the zone in Juarez. It's kind of been dead for a little bit. So we're here starting over, and you better believe that I'm training again. Now I'm a mom, is what they call it, because I'm comps with Elder Romero, who already has one cycle, but his trainer left the area, and I'm here to finish him up. And I got some things to fix here with our house. So horribly dirty and disgusting and bad. My bathroom is so small. I don't even know if I'm gonna give you a house tour. It's that bad. With my comp, we gotta make sure we understand the rules and what we're doing here, why we're here, studying each and every day. And then with whatever this missionary work is, man, we showed up here and the app was just horrible. So I think we've got it all cleaned up. We're ready. I've started to know the members. They're so awesome here. And we're so ready to get out there and find. This area is interesting. Complete polar opposite from Ascension, because I am in the city, but I'm also right up against the giant mountain that dice, La Biblia es la verdad, léala. They just carved it in the mountain, and they got houses going all the way up. So there's just giant hills here, just this steep that we're walking up. It also became extremely hot. We're still in March, so I'm going to die. It was 98 yesterday. It's probably similar today, but thankfully I just play basketball all day, so I aren't feeling that too bad. But that's my new area. We're trying to figure it out, trying to find those that are ready to take advantage of this work, which leads me into my spiritual thought. And really, Marco helped me with this in my own personal conversion, and to remember what I'm doing here as a missionary. Because for so long in Ascension, I was trying to make it happen for me, and we had some success, and I made some things happen, but more than anything, I thought it was all on me. And I've really realized, it took me 6 months, that this was never my work. It was never my choices, I can't force anyone to accept this message. I can do what I can, and I'm going to continue doing what I can, but really we're just instruments in the hands of the Lord. I'll put my favorite verse right there from Alma, that we might be instruments in the hands of the Lord, and seguir adelante, each and every day, going forward, to be these instruments. Really, I'm just here to find the people that are already prepared. I can't prepare anyone more than I can. I can't run faster than I can run. And that's been something I've learned with Marco, with everyone I've interacted with, and I'm happy to say that I've changed a lot in just 6 months. Just hit 7 actually, and I'm super excited for what the rest of my mission has for me. But that's about it. Mariano is doing awesome. I got a cool district, great P-Day so far. I'm excited for more. I'm going to Costco this cycle. It's gonna be great. Let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me an email. I love to hear from you guys. I promise I won't wait until the next cycle to make another video, but that's about it. You guys have a great day, and I love you all.